If I had to start over again, over the age of 30, busy job, low energy, belly fat that I hated, I'm gonna go through exactly what I would do to get lean, strong, and confident again. I've used this method to help hundreds of clients at this point. I can safely say that this is gonna be the recipe that's gonna help you. If you follow this in this video, I promise you, you're gonna torch that belly fat that you hate. You're gonna finally get that confidence in yourself again. I used to think that fat loss is all about cutting carbs, just doing endless cardio, doing high reps, starving yourself. But here's what I realized. That works for a little while, but it's just not sustainable. You end up restricting yourself and binging on the other end. I don't know how many of you guys watching this video have tried to stick to something and you've done 4 or 5 weeks, and within a couple of weeks afterwards, you're back to where you started. Maybe you did a 12-week challenge, you did so great for yourself, but you're back where you started again. And that's because you've done this too hard, too fast, you haven't looked at the full picture, it's unsustainable and it's not maintainable. And I'm hopefully gonna give you some sustainable and maintainable tips throughout this video. Especially if you're in your 30s and 40s, you need a strategy that works with your life. We don't just have no responsibilities anymore, we have families, we have businesses, we have pets, we have children that all need to be taken care of, as well as ourselves. The truth about belly fat is it's not just like a looks thing, it's a metabolic thing. You have a belly, you have hip fat, you have worse insulin resistance, you have higher blood pressure, you have a higher risk of all-cause mortality. That is a literal fact. So for people to say you can be healthy with a big belly, I disagree. You can't, because it takes some time to get there, and the habits that got you there are probably the things that have harmed you to get there. The good news is you don't need 2 hours to fix it every single day. You just need to stick to these 3 things that I'm about to walk you through. And you've probably heard them before, but I'm going to tell you them again. Number 1 is calorie deficit. It still matters no matter what. And it doesn't have to be extreme, but something like 300 to 500 calories into a deficit is going to tip the scales to start that body fat and start that belly fat coming down. Once you establish a calorie deficit, you'll probably feel that pretty quickly. So first and foremost, get yourself into a calorie deficit. Watch one of my other videos about how to work out your calories down below, and it will explain all of that for you. The next thing is going to be high protein. Protein is not just for muscle, but it's for satiety. Also tends to have good micronutrition as well. But satiation is the thing that we're looking for here. If you compare 10 grams or 100 grams of honey versus, not that anyone could do that, but 100 grams of honey versus 100 grams of meat, the meat is going to keep you fuller for longer. Also, protein has a higher thermic effect of feeding, so that basically just means a fancy word for it takes more calories to burn than the other calories, than the other macronutrients. So if you can, higher protein is actually going to serve you well in terms of staying fuller for longer. It's also going to technically burn more calories. So if you wanted to and your digestion was okay, you could replace some carbs with protein and technically lose more weight. Some food for thought there. The final thing is going to be resistance training. This is the thing that ties it all together. It's the thing that distinguishes weight loss from fat loss. Weight loss, people can do. And with weight loss, fat does come down. But what we're all looking for here, guys and girls, hopefully, is a strong, lean physique that lives long, can do a lot of things, and can do those things for a long period of time. That tends to need muscle, that tends to need bone density, and all of those things come with resistance training. So what I want you to focus on is training around 3 to 5 times per week, depending how much time you got available, resistance training wise. And I want you to think about getting stronger every single session. So if you go in, you do a chest press of sorts, you do 100 kilos for 10 reps. Next week, I want you to do 100 kilos for 11 reps or 12 reps, or 105 kilos for 10 reps. As long as there's some type of progression, you're going to force more muscle onto your physique. And you got to remember that resistance training, muscle, that's what protects your metabolism. So if you don't want to starve yourself forever, you need to be training hard. You need to be building muscle because it will build your metabolism long term. And it helps you look lean, staves you off from being skinny fat. The last thing you want to be is having a belly but also no muscle, because it's just like this awkwardness of, do I gain muscle, do I lose body fat? And that decision can be crippling sometimes. So here's the game plan. If I was 20% body fat, 90 kilos, I would do something like this. I would eat 2,200 calories a day. Might sound a little bit low, but I want to get you started. And this is considering that maybe you haven't started to track these things initially. About 180 grams of protein, so about a gram per pound of body weight. It's going to be right enough for you to do. I'm going to do 3 resistance training sessions per week. They're probably going to be upper lower, so 2 upper sessions, 1 lower. I think putting people on 2 lower sessions per week when they've not done anything can really cause some pain and discomfort and push people away from it. So 2 upper, 1 lower. I'm also going to be doing 8 to 10,000 steps per day. That's going to assure a baseline level of movement. It's going to help improve your blood glucose, your blood pressure, digestion, all those types of things. I'm also going to be focusing on sleeping above 7 hours a night, precisely 7.5 hours a night. Improved sleep will reduce your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, which kills testosterone. Improved sleep will reduce your cravings and regulate your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, which increase cravings and increase your hunger. Those will be way more stable with better sleep. They'll improve your mental health. They'll improve your energy production. Like, sleep literally is king, so focus on sleep first. I'm also going to give up alcohol. I'm also going to give up processed food and takeaways, at least during the cut. Like, not forever, but like, I think once you get to your goal, it's much easier to stay there and have a few sprinkle of things than trying to get there with a sprinkle of things. That will slow down your progress. So I'm going to give up those two things. Following this plan will give your body a chance to be insulin prone again, sensitive again. It will regulate your cortisol, it will improve your visceral fat, and it's going to burn fat efficiently when you're in a calorie deficit. So you could take that if you're around about 90 kilos. If you're less than 90 kilos, you could remove the protein a little bit. If you are above that, you could increase the protein a little bit, which in turn would increase and decrease the calories. But that'd be a really, really good start. And that's the start point. Obviously, you need to progress that, but that is a good start point. The biggest mistakes that I see people go through, number one, they slash calories way too hard. And this will metabolically slow you down. This will make things way harder to stick to. This will increase your hunger. This will increase cravings. This will increase your probability, not possibility, or both, I guess, of binging and wanting to just say, fuck it, I can't do this anymore, because it just makes things harder. It needs to be hard, but it doesn't need to be so hard that you can't sustain it. So most people slash calories too hard. People also skip weights for cardio. If you get tired, if you get busy, you think, I won't go to the gym today, I'll go do cardio instead. I think that's a mistake, and I think you should actually focus on the training instead, because like I said, training is what keeps metabolism. Training is what keeps muscle. So if you're skipping training for cardio, you are increasing muscle loss. And the goal here is to look good, and you need muscle to look good and fat to come down. So don't switch those around. The next thing is you have no feedback loop. You have no way to adjust when things stall. Maybe you don't have someone to talk to or talk it through. Maybe you don't have the knowledge to give yourself that feedback, and that's where either a coach comes in, like myself, and if you are someone who struggles with this type of stuff and just can't quite get around it, and you just want someone to take the reins, you can hit the first link in my description box or in the comments. You can book in for a completely free, no obligation discovery call, where we can fix this for you. But once you establish that feedback loop, you can start to give yourself that feedback and make changes based off that. If you've got zero feedback going on, like, what do you look like? What does your body weight look like? How do you feel? How are you sleeping? You're not going to know what decision to make. So start to internally do that for yourself. Then you binge on weekends. This is the biggest thing. Monday to Friday is easy. You're at work, you're busy, you've got a lot going on. Weekends, kids want to go out. You want to go out with the wife or husband. You want to go out for beers with the boys. And that's where things start to take a turn for the worse. Like I said, if you can, sacrifice those. 100% sacrifice those short term for the long term goal. If you sacrifice these things for 4 to 6 months, I promise you can spend the next 4 to 6 years doing those things and having zero regrets and zero issues with your physique. But if you need to, it's got to be a not all or nothing mentality. So one thing, when my clients come to me and they say, I've got this going on, great, now let's coach you through it. You know what, the day before you should do this, then on the day you can do this, the day after just get back to the plan. I promise you do 95% of the things, you will get 95% of the results. And 95% of the results are really, really good. When it comes to physique, they're really, really good. So try not to binge on weekends. You're going to undo that 5 days of discipline. You're going to feel a little bit like a failure, and you're not going to fulfill your own potential. Now, I just want to show you Warren. Like, he came to me doing a lot of those problems and a lot of those things. He works like 50 plus hours a week. He's a cab driver. He sits down all day, and he had so much body fat to lose, like 50 pounds plus. Never got lean before. Always been a big guy, and just thought that was his fate. But what he really needed was structure, accountability, and the strategy to lose the body fat. And look at the difference here. This is a 6-month progress from Warren. And the difference is just insane, for one. He has less inflammation, less cortisol going on. He sleeps better. He feels better. His wife messages me saying how good he feels and how good he looks. And he's never going to go back to the previous shape before, because we've given him the skills necessary not only to get to the goal, but after the goal to sustain it, which is really, really important. We get very focused on trying to reach a goal, and when that goal's done and achieved, it kind of feels like, where do I go from now? And let me go back to my old habits, because I did those for 10 years. And you can very quickly undo the last 6 months. But instead, we gave him the structure, the guidance, and the accountability that he needed to then sustain it. He now eats like 3,500 calories, doesn't have to do loads of cardio, trains really well, feels good, looks good. And yeah, we can't complain. So if you've tried on your own and you've failed, or if you're watching this video and it's not quite clicking for you, or you just don't feel like you've got the commitment to it, it's just the strategy is broken. You haven't got the right way to do it. And all you need is someone to go, this is how you do it. This is how we're going to do it for you. This is your life. This is why this doesn't work. Let's build this into your life. And that's what we do with my coaching program, my one-to-one coaching program. So if that sounds like something you are interested, like I said earlier in the video, just hit that link, a completely free discovery call, and we can help you out. Either way, guys, I hope you enjoyed this type of video. Drop a like if you have got something from it. Drop a comment and tell me what that is, and I'll improve for next time. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.